Great news, the Misty photos are up on the Secret Coloring Club's website, ready to be downloaded. I'm going to give you guys a couple of days to download it, get new paper if you need it. And we'll say about 3 days, 4 days tops. And then we're going to start doing this. This is 100% free. It's going to be a follow me videos, a little bit each day, nothing overwhelming. And you don't even have to sign up for anything. It's just download it and go. Hi guys. I was asked by two people actually a question that I can put together in one demonstration. Melody Trotta asked me to do white on white. She doesn't understand the concept of how you do something that's white on white paper. And I was also asked by a couple of people to do a waterfall. And so I went online and I found this picture on a freebie website just for coloring books. They were, you can use it as you please. So I took about an hour and I did the rock formation behind the waterfall just to save time, because I could do a rock formation video all in itself. That takes its own demo. What I was more concerned of is doing the white on white and how to do a waterfall picture. So that's why I've already done the background on this. Oh, and these are the exact pictures. This and this, I just made 2 copies of it. Let's talk about white. Your paper is white, and you want to put something on it that's white. White is never, quote, quote, white. It's always shades of grays and blues in it. And you also have to think of it as sort of the negative effect. Wherever you want your white to be, you have to make the background dark. So when it comes to like a waterfall is basically white on a rock, with a rock background. So I'm going to start this demo with a very light blue, and I'm going to use cloud blue. Now, I've already added in some areas as cloud blue in it just to get it started on first layer, because first layer is always just getting some color onto the page. So that's where you'll see the 2 different colors. You'll see a little bit of shading in between. Now, depending on how hard you want the waterfall to fall, after you get done doing your basic background with the blue, except for where you want your white, you'll switch over to the gray pencils. And I have the 30% cool here. And here's where I'm going to start forming the foam. Now, I would not have done a picture that has such dark in there. There really shouldn't. These lines are just basically the person who did this picture used Sharpie. So I really should have blanked them out, but I didn't. And I'm going to do my best to create formations that are around that to lighten it up. So I'll try to incorporate some of the black into it to see if I can get rid of it. I just can't guarantee it. And I'm just going to start going around the areas that I wanted white with my 30%, just like this. And I'm doing my best to get rid of the harsh black. So while I'm doing that, you'll start seeing the white popping out, and I'll come back to you when I go to the next step. Now I'm going to go and use some other grays, some darker grays, and I'm going to try to form some rock formations in the water that are jutting out. And that's going to also help me. Okay, I have a 70%. That'll also help me get rid of some of these bad lines that are in there. I'm going to also try to cover them with white Posca, so it'll look like the water is falling around these rock formations that are jutting out from the water. I'm pretty sure that that's what it was supposed to be. So it might not be that bad. And as in nature, nothing is straight. You want to have it as organic looking as possible. Okay, I'm going to go on hyperlapse, and I'm going to continue to work with these colors. And then what you're going to see me do is I'm going to blend with my Chinese white. Now, towards the edges where vegetation would build up, I'm going to add some true green. Okay, now that I have the bottom layer built up enough, I'm going to add a little bit of blending medium, and I'm using the lavender spike or the spike lavender, whichever one it is. And I just want to keep my edges really fine, very soft. And everything blended in. When you have like waterfalling, you're not going to have a hardened picture. It's always going to be a little fuzzy because it's moving water. So these edges can be very blended for a more natural look. And don't worry about the gray because we're going to be putting white over it. And when you're doing white on white, this is how you would do it. You would build up your other colors around it. Okay, and then I'm going to go back to the same colors as I was using before. And just keep building it up. Now, even though this is going to be very white, I'm going to put the white on at the end. But I need something for the white to be able to stand out against. So doing white on white just means adding color around. And it's something you just have to practice. You know, get in and do it. And as far as waterfalls go, they're just nothing but white on white. If you can do clouds, you can do waterfalls. I'm going to start at the top. And remember that vibration that I showed you guys how to do when you vibrate your hand? Well, you're going to do the same. That's what the motion you're going to do when doing falling water. So I'm going to move it on to hyperlapse. I'm going to get my first layer in there because you're going to, afterwards, we're going to go over the Posca with color. I've got the Posca on, and I'm going to let this dry really, really well. I'm going to give it a couple of hours, and then I'm going to come back to it because I want that white to soak into the paper. It's not going to soak into the paper as bright white. It's going to turn a little bit gray, and that's what I want. So it'll cover what I want, and it will adhere to the paper. Afterwards, I'm going to go back with my gray, and I'm going to clean it up where I need to clean it up. The Posca covers over with pencil really easily. So I'm kind of going to shape my areas that I want bright white. And then we will add Posca on top of just certain areas so it looks like the water is falling. So I will see you in about an hour. Okay, I've given it sufficient amount of time to dry. And now I'm going to go in with my grays, and I want to shape the water. And you have to understand that water falls straight down unless it's hitting something. So my strokes with the darker gray are going to be straight. Now this is making it look like it's flowing downward. Now where the water would hit on the bottom, you would have spray. And to give the illusion of spray, you would blur up everything at the bottom. So down here, where this is all hard lines, we're going to get rid of those hard lines. Now I'm just going to do some finishing touches. I may add a little bit of blue down here, and this is Blue Lake. Just at the bottom. And my hand is very light touch. I'm only trying to tint the Posca. I'm not adding any structure to it. So I could probably be sitting here doing this type of work for a couple of hours, but you get the point. When doing white on white, go for the background. Everything has to be darker for that white to show up. When doing water that's flowing, everything is going downward. And at another time, I'll show you guys how to do the rock formation. They're not hard to do. but it just will take me a full lesson just to do rock. So I'll see you in my next segment. Carolyn Kessler asks, what do you use to spray and why? This is one of my most popular questions, and I usually answer this every few videos. I use several different things. One thing that I use is the Final Fixative by Brush and Pencil, and that's an archival, non yellowing, non toxic, UV resistant spray. And I'll use that on pictures that I've done that I want to keep. Say I do a portrait or a landscape, and it's something that I know that I'm not going to just be throwing in a folder. And I want a little bit better quality. This has been the stuff that I've been using. In my books, I use Rust-Oleum Gloss Protective Enamel. I use Krylon Clear Finishing Enamel, low odor clear finish, and sometimes in between I'll use a textured fixative, and that's by Brush and Pencil. Now, why do I use these things? Well, a couple of reasons. One, colored pencil has a tendency of having the pigment separate from the wax, and that's called wax bloom. And when you seal the wax in at the end, you'll get rid of that waxy look. Also, I live in the desert, and when you live in the desert, you don't really have compacted soil. We have sand. With sand comes dust, lots of it. We live with dust. Uh, it's just something everybody here does. So I like to keep my pictures coated so that they stay nice and clear looking and clean. So that's my reasons for doing it. Do I spray every picture? No, not in coloring books, but some of them in the coloring books I will spray. When I spray in the coloring books, I really like the Krylon. It's high gloss and it gives sort of like a dimension to the picture, and it also helps to alleviate any lines that are still left on the picture. It helps smooth out the finish. Hi, Kathy. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to critique your picture. Just to let you know, that key that you sent me is open in my book, so I can demo it for you. I just wanted to let you know I'm going to do it in my next video because this is getting a little bit long. So I wanted to get your critique done for you. This is a beautiful picture. I love the way you did your greens. You have like a sparkle coming off the skin. Um, and I could see where your highlights are supposed to be. I'm going to make a small correction on you, and it's going to make a big difference. First of all, you're not blending your fire tones in enough. It's very distinct. Here, 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 you could see your yellow, your red. Go back and watch my fire video, and you'll see this. There'll be a big difference on how it looks. As for your highlighting, I know you were having trouble highlighting. You wanted me to do the key for you. Um, your lighting is coming in from over here, and it's kind of shifting in here. I'm getting the feeling that this is sundown because your large highlight is right over here. So the only way the sun would be able to do that is if it's coming very low. Now, if the sun is very low, there would be a reflective highlight right over here also. So this might have been a little bit lighter so that it would continuity in the picture. Now, if the lighting is coming in from over here, hitting over here very strong, hitting over here,
it would skim up, and you might have highlighted over here. Right now the face is a little bit flat. As far as color, you want to make it a little bit more dramatic. This would be lit up a little bit brighter than it is now. But other than that, it's just a couple of light strokes in there just to lighten up the tone of the page. You did a fantastic job. I love your underneath. Um, we might have gone with a little bit of shadowing under here. Don't be afraid of those shadows. It only makes your picture look a little bit better. And you could have had a little darker down here just to give it dramatics. But other than that, I love this picture. I want you to find it and tell me where it is because I want to give credit to the artist. They did a really good job.
If you like what you saw and you want to see more, hit that like and subscribe. Don't forget to ring that bell for all notifications. For another video just like this one, I recommend this. And I'll see you in my next video. Take care. Keep on coloring.